Make your words do work. You know that feeling when you say one true line and your whole chest lifts, like your body saying yes before your brain even catches up? That's the signal we're training on purpose today. We're going to use two native Irish tools. One is Rosc, or OSC, the Morrigan's battle speech style in Cath Maige Tuired, the Second Battle of Moytura, and also dichetal the chennaib, extemporaneous speaking from the poet's craft of ancient Ireland, so that your words actually move things. So Rosc first, because it shows up when stakes are high and decisions matter. In Cath Maige Tuired, Rosc poetry, and it's poetry, but it's just as much a spell, an incantation, a chant as anything that ever came out of a poet's lips. But Rosc is made of short, strong lines built on stress and sound, with this parallel grammar and light alliteration, so the cadence hits the ear and the will together. The power builds as you go through a Rosc poem. It's not this tidy rhyme, it's patterned force. Irregular on the page and maybe a little bit odd even to our modern sensibilities, but clearly shaped by the mouth, which is why it works in front of a crowd or alone in your kitchen. During the Battle of Moytura, the Morrigan goddess uses it to incite courage before the clash, to bless the land when the smoke clears, and to declare what the next season will feel like, will be like, either a blessing or a curse, a warning or a prediction. And she does this so that people will align to the outcome that she names or choose against it. Now, that's very theoretical, right? So let's make it practical. Modern beginner Rosc poem needs three things basically. So parallel line shape, strong active verbs, and just a touch of repeated sound to stitch the lines together. You keep each line maybe 2 or 3 beats and end up with this single cadence that you can feel. And you don't stuff in extra adjectives, extra words, explainers. Tight speech is the power. Now, I'm going to give you just a small pattern that you can repeat, and it's modelled on the Cath Maige Tuired Rosc structure, which is not just the Morrigan that uses this, but she's the queen of it. So a sample might be, I choose steady breath, I set voice in beat, I stand and do the thing. So do the thing can be whatever you're facing, right? Notice the parallel verbs, choose, set, stand, the S sound stitching in line 2, and each line is really like closing in on one weighty word, breath, beat, thing. So a calm pattern modelled on the blessing sequence from Cath Maige Tuired that stacks simple parallels for peace. A sample would be peace in my chest, peace in my breath, peace in my day. Now, these examples are Rosc that you can use, but I do encourage you to write your own. And it's not so you can sound archaic or cool or like tapped in, right? It's to give your nervous system and your choices a beat to follow. This is magic. Now, dichetal the chennaib, which literally means speaking at once, it's in older Irish, is the trained poet's skill of instant, on-the-spot composition and delivery. Now, there is a magical and a spiritual essence to this as well. There's the idea that this flows directly from otherworld inspiration. It's almost like channeling as well. If you have a relationship with an entity such as the Morrigan, you may be actually channeling their own words or ancestral words or memories even in some cases, but it's not something that you're sitting down to compose. John Carey, one of our experts here from University College Cork, wrote a whole paper about this, which is really amazing. The 3 skills of the poet. I don't remember the exact title of the paper, but it's around on the internet. If you search it, you'll find it. And he traces a kind of an earlier triad of the 3 core skills, which are Imas Farasnai, inspired knowing, Onamon, which is metrical craft, and dichetal dokenev, extempore speech, which altogether map inspiration, technique, and immediate delivery. Now, later redactions of this, or, maybe there are earlier ones that are just recreated, who knows, but they have a much more kind of magical colour. And swap the terms, I think they add in chennaib instead of onamon. So you're going to see both of those. And actually in the book, I go through that trio as skills that can be learnt in relation to your own connection with the Morrigan. So there's a whole chapter. My book, The Morrigan, Ireland's Goddess, is there. I do encourage you to pick yourself up a copy, of course, because I go into this in great depth. But the base sense of all of this that matters for our own practice is very simple, really. We're going to speak a true line cleanly right now and stop. So let's do it together. And honestly, the less you think about this, the better, right? So we're going to do 2 lines, 1 breath each. Line 1, the situation. The fear is loud in my chest. Now, obviously, I'm okay now. Don't worry. But this is something I have thought about beforehand, and it's something that a lot of people are experiencing now. So it's the kind of thing that might be coming to you. But again, I really encourage you to just go into this using these as an example for sure. But literally think about your situation. The joy might be great in your heart, right? But we'll go with the example. So the fear is loud in my chest. And line 2 would be the choice. I'll speak once and act anyway. For this, what I would say is to say each line once and stop. And the stop is actually part of the power. It teaches your mouth and your will to match. It's mindful speech as much as anything, mindfulness. But it's the experience of allowing what you're feeling, what you're intuiting, what is coming through to you from other sources to actually make its way through without your front brain getting in the way, right? These are really important. These are connections to our ancestry. They're connections to our ancient traditions. They are information that has been available in the academic circles for many centuries that a lot of modern pagans don't have access to or don't know where to look for. So that's been my work with the Morrigan, is to make information available, to get real sources out there, to give you the tools and the resources that you need to build authentic connection to Ireland and right relationship with the goddess that I work for, the Morrigan, should you choose to. And it's why these 2 particular tools sit so closely in the workshop that I'm running currently, which is about the Morrigan's magic. It's called Crow's Cry and Chaos, because of course it is. I'm nothing if not a little bit melodramatic with my magic. But again, in the Cath Maige Tuired, the Morrigan strengthens her people to fight resolutely, then chants to frame courage. Later, she stacks this peace blessing that settles the whole field, and then she names a hard season so that no one can pretend that they weren't told, right? Her speech is action, and that's our model. Fewer words, better pattern, clear outcomes. That's what I'd love to teach you. So I'm going to give you just a really quick 7-day plan. Obviously, if you want more, I'll tell you about the workshop at the end, but even if you just watch this video, just maybe pause now, take a little note of this on your phone app or in your journal. But real quick, 7-day plan that actually fits your real life. So days 1 to 3, speak 1 3-line Rosc a day. Same sentence, shape each line, strong verbs, a hint of repeated sound, alliteration, and end on a single cadence word that you can feel. End with a bang. Days 4 to 7, keep your Rosc and then add 2 lines of dichetal, chennaib. Situation, then choice. Remember, that's your format, that's your framework. 1 breath each, no editing, stop when the line ends. And after each practice, ask just quick check-in, yes or no questions. Did my jaw loosen? Did my tongue drop from the roof of my mouth? Did my shoulders relax a little bit? Did my chest lift? If yes, then it's working. And if no, shorten the lines and slow the beat. This is part of active meditation as much as anything else. Now, a quick note on boundaries and accuracy, because that really matters here. Dichetal, chennaib doesn't require trance. The early sense is trained speech delivered at once. And anybody, even without that training, can do this practice. Obviously, the more you put into it, the more study you do, the more practice you do, the more context you gain for all of this than just one simple YouTube video, the better it's going to be for you, the more connected you're going to feel, the more it's going to help your right relationship with the Morrigan. Rosc too then, it's not like random shouting or chanting. It's patterned language with stress and parallelism. Even short lines can carry real weight when they're spoken out loud. And I hope you can feel that as you're doing these practice exercises. But if this has already helped you feel that small lift, imagine what a month of guided practice could do. Inside the Crow's Cry and Chaos private circle, we keep it very simple so that you're going to stick to it. Nothing here is going to overwhelm you. We are gathering live on Saturday at 7 p.m. Irish time. So the cutoff for this is 6 p.m. on Saturday. And there will be a full replay if you can't make it live, of course. And then we work together for 30 days within this group. And it's 30-day access from when you enroll. And we're going to be going through week by week, working with the live workshop certainly, but also then practice exercises. Week 1 is a daily battle cry. 1 breath, 1 sound, and a tiny check-in so you can see change without overwhelming yourself. You get in the practice of it. Week 2 is Rosc poetry that you can actually speak. And in fact, you should speak. We will learn about that too. You should speak publicly even. And that's 3 lines that lock into your breath and your memory under stress. We're not putting you under stress, but I know a lot of you are under stress. So I wanted to include something that addresses that stress. So week 3 is dichetal, chennaib, honest speech on the spot, 1 breath at a time. And week 4 then is sovereignty in daily life. And this is a huge aspect of who the Morrigan is and what her role and function is. This will be 1 sentence each morning that you're going to stand over by night. You will get a concise PDF workbook, so you can start without hunting for instructions. You don't have to go through the whole live workshop again and again and again. You have it there in the workbook. There is a curated Irish reading list, so you're not struggling for sources. You have exactly what you need to hand. It's reputable, it's reliable, and it's from an expert on the topic. And then there's going to be a short audio demo as well to rehearse cadence, warm up your battle cry, and practice 1 breath, dichetal, chennaib. Now, we're doing all this in a private space with 4 focused channels. There's going to be daily presence for me and our moderators in the group and clear, kind feedback. So you're not guessing alone. You're not working on this by yourself. And again, you don't have to join the group. There's 2 other videos in this playlist. So please go back and watch the rest of the videos on this playlist. And if you've missed this, then join the waiting list through the link. And once the enrollment is closed, it will go through to a waiting list. And if I get enough people on the waiting list, I will run it again. But currently there's no plans to run it again. If your brain is saying, no, I'm too busy, perfect. This is designed for 2 to 5 minutes a day. Consistency really beats intensity. And a lot of the work that I do with my students is about short, effective practices that connect you authentically to this goddess and your own spirituality. And if you're completely new, if this is the first time you're hearing about me or the Morrigan or anything, I'm Laura O'Brien, by the way. This is my book, my lovely book. Please buy a copy. But yeah, if you're new to me or new to the Morrigan, great. You'll get plain English, source-led steps, and a community that respects where you are. You don't have to have any experience. You don't have to be Irish. You don't have to be any of those things. You don't have to be anything. If your nerves are jumpy, you can sit, breathe, speak a line, stop. The work is in the clarity, not the volume, or not even the quality at this point, especially if you're new to it. So again, doors to this particular workshop and 30-day access to a private community to work through the workshop. They close on Saturday at 6 p.m. Irish time. We're going live at 7 p.m, so that will be an absolute hard close. If you join before then, you absolutely get the replay. It's going to be recorded and available within the community, as well as all the resources and obviously the week-by-week work as we go through. So you get 30-day access from when you enroll. And if this is for you, then please join the circle now and let's train your voice to do work, to do magic in the Irish way. If you're seeing this after doors close, I'm sorry, you've missed it. But please do add your name on the same link to the waiting list. And if enough of you want it, I will run it again for sure. So regardless of your choices, say one true line, then live it. And that's how speech becomes sovereignty. And that's how this work changes your day-to-day life. That's my goal here, is to give you the transformation and the change that this goddess has brought into my life. Ultimately, she's not an easy goddess to work with, for sure, but she definitely has brought absolute, necessary, and ultimately positive change into who I am and how I go about things and how my life is structured and all of these things. So if you want to access a little bit of that Morrigan magic, get to know the goddess, then join Crows, Cry and Chaos, and I will see you inside. Slán.